But here we go. As the revs go up for Moto 1, who's it going to be? And the gate's down. So with a great jump, but he has Kyle up his insides. I'll give him a little bump, but he stays in it. But it's Kyle grabbing that hole shot. The Goose, oh, Kyle going down in the over the first jump there. The Goose going to take the lead early. Aaron in second. Miseo third. Hinks having a little bit of a trip off the track. And who was that going down? That was Lawson getting tangled up, going up the hill there, going down early. But the Goose out front, Aaron in second, Miseo third, as they run so far on this opening lap.
And good start for the Goose, our fastest qualifier today, just in front of Miseo by a tenth of a second. And Miseo's going to need to keep it on him.
Oh, Aaron with a mistake at the bottom of the hill there. Ended up off the track, so it's the Goose still out front, but Miseo up to second, Driggs in third. The whole horde of guys behind them still is really close, still up front. Hey, got a fan in the chat saying, let's go Driggs, up in third. Well, actually, well, yeah, third, as I said, actually. Let them all come to the field, but now we'll go to our cameras with the Goose out front. What are we looking at, Mr. New School? We still paying attention up front, or got anything else going on?
Yeah, right now Miseo is all over the Goose, with Driggs Larkin just behind them. But yeah, Miseo's putting the pressure on right now.
Absolutely. As I haven't even had to leave the front yet, because, I mean, as you said, I mean, he's right there. The Goose is not getting away by any means. Our two fastest qualifiers, the Goose, Miseo was not happy. The Goose snagged his fastest qual and is trying to go after him, showing him that it's mine for the race.
It was a good look to the inside there, letting him know he's right there.
Absolutely, showing him a wheel wherever he can. Let him know, don't forget, I'm right here, buddy. I'll keep that pressure on, see if he can force a mistake or if he can just get it done.
Especially on a track like this where you're going to see a lot of this similar lines running through most of the track. Being able to find that few spots that you can use an alternate line, it's going to be crucial.
Yeah, absolutely. Especially on a track like this as well. You have to worry about limiting those mistakes, because I mean, you can see how close this field is still already. I mean, we were just seeing third and fourth. We're still really close in the picture. Let's say we did have a little bit of a mistake right as I was thinking to say that, but still not far behind.
And on such a high-speed track, I mean, one mistake, that's, especially if you go down and then off track with it, I mean, you're talking 15 seconds.
Absolutely. Miseo definitely seems like he's carrying his momentum into, like, down that hill and into the corner a lot more than the Goose is there. It looked like the Goose opened it up through the rollers and at the top of the hill. Oh, and just as I was talking about that, the Goose going down, gonna hand over the lead to Miseo.
And just as I was saying, you make a mistake like that and go down, that's a significant amount of time you're about to lose.
Especially in a spot like that.
Yeah.
Like the place is one of the worst things as well. Like, don't be wrong, there's definitely worse spots on this track. But right before a jump is never the spot you want to be down at.
No, definitely not. We'll see when timing and scoring updates exactly where he came back in, but it looked like it was around 6th or 7th.
Yeah, but just like that, Miseo's got a comfortable lead now. It's just got to keep it consistent and on two, and he shouldn't have any pressure from behind in the near future.
Miseo didn't exactly have his best week last week. He started really, really well, I think he pulled pole shot both races.
Absolutely.
But camera glitch.
Yeah, I had a camera glitch as well. But yes, you're right. He He did have a great start to the races last week, getting the whole shot in the one and still starting out in the top 3 in the other, but just did not go his way for that second moto. But still looking to make a comeback this week, obviously, and starting off strong with that.
Yeah, already put 5.5 seconds on Driggs in second.
What is going on with my feeds right now?
I think the TV cameras have some problems.
Yeah, I noticed my feed isn't working right now for my other screen. I was trying to use our dual cam again, and it's just like I have to re-put my source in. Weird. Sorry, a little bit of technical difficulties, guys, but we'll get it fixed in a few seconds.
Hey, welcome to the danger zone.
All right,
baby.
that's fixed, and thank you for the follow. Zero, how's it going, man? We got a pretty solid battle going on right here for our third, fourth, and fifth place positions. Well, actually, third and fourth definitely more so now. Looks like that Teets and we have gotten a little bit away from the Goose. Nothing crazy, but just a little bit there. Definitely the positions, the battle is definitely for third here. Oh, and Driggs with a mistake. It's going to allow both of them to get by, so now the battle is for second. Driggs falling back in line in fourth.
That's just going to widen that gap from the cell.
Yeah, absolutely.
And we're only 7 minutes into this moto. Yeah, you can just tell some of these corners which rut is preferred because you can already see the deform starting to kick in.
I'm glad you like it, brother. That's the idea. Dude, this is the first time you're tuned in. Well, welcome, man. I'm glad you like it. And no, this is not 450. This is our Pro-Am class, which any of our classes that aren't Pro are 250 only. Then on Sundays, we do hold a 250 and 450 Pro class. And then on Tuesday nights, we also have a 125 only series.
Cell going off track a little bit off of that the big
Gotcha. Well, look forward to seeing you in the future there, Zero. Yeah, so it looks like we're struggling a little bit on server stability tonight. You know, I was talking about how that can happen with trying to run more people. Went perfectly fine last week, but of course, as soon as I go to round 2 to try and do it again. Amateur Novice was a pretty good test last week, though. Went well.
Yeah,
Who knows? Maybe it's just on my end. Or our end, whatever. But I heard your mic have that weird disconnect stuff that happens sometimes, too.
yeah. We're just trying to make everybody feel like they're watching Peacock, you know?
Yeah, absolutely, right?
Camera issues, mic issues, all for no reason.
Yeah, like somebody said in chat here, he said that ARL even had to like run half of their quality servers on NA on the EU servers instead of NA servers for their NA stuff tonight because the NA servers were struggling so bad. So it's not just us. Something going on with the MyMXB servers in general tonight, sadly.
Luckily, it seems like that hasn't been a consistent issue this year like it was last year.
Yeah, we definitely ran into more problems, I'd say, last year. Well, I guess I definitely had some more issues at times, but definitely not as consistent as some people did. You know what I mean? I think it was on the good days or something. I don't know. Because I definitely heard
I
of
just-
other people having more problems than I did last year.
I just remember last year ARL had a ton of issues.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. They did too.
I mean, there was talks of like postponing races. It got so bad on certain days. But these cameras are kind of irritating me.
Right?
I may have to go free cam.
That's exactly what I was thinking about doing.
Because I'm getting kicked completely off for 10 seconds at a time.
You do have your bandwidth turned up, correct?
Yes.
Okay, just making sure.
No, the issue is like the cameras, the TV cameras.
Yeah, no.
because
I'm having it
we're-
happen too, just nowhere near as long as you are. That's why I was asking.
Gotcha. Maybe that time the cell made a mistake in the corner, so it lasted a little longer.
Yeah, it's definitely just a connection thing. Because now if I get a free cam, it's happening still. It's just instead of my camera going away, they're blinking. So that's why their camera's going away.
I'm having blinking too, so I think it is a server issue.
Yeah. Either a server issue or both lagging.
Could be. So I'm looking at that gap. Looks like Keith has made up about 2 seconds on the cell over this last lap and a half.
Absolutely. Oh, and then they scare me and go out of existence for a minute.
Exact same time.
Danger zone, baby.
Thanks for the follow, Wolfing. Wolfing Down Tacos. I like that. That's a good name. But trying to take a look back further in the field here. And we have Scully sitting in 4th, Driggs in 5th, Aaron in 6th. And the timing and scoring doesn't say it quite in that order, but actually Aaron just made the move on Driggs for 5th on track. I don't know if Aaron and Scully both have cuts or if it just hasn't updated yet. But Driggs is now back to 6th. I am just gonna, just for shits and giggles, I'm gonna try and focus up my regular cameras and disable your feed just to see if it is that. Just out of curiosity, if it is like too much, I'm trying to do too much. We're just both lagging. Good way to test, right?
Yeah. Well, right now, Teets is really closing in the gap on the cell. Down to, let's see when he crosses the finish line, what it's at. Yep, down to a 4.3 second gap.
You know, it really is just the server. Entirely.
Fortunate.
All of our stuff is on my MXB, but yes, in the Discord. Wait, I did you find us from the Discord or did you find us on Twitch? Okay, so in the Discord, under each of the class sections, there is schedules posted of race dates, so they're date and time for the qualifying. And then there's also links to the championships in the sign-up section, so you can go to each championship and look at them that way, instead of having to try and find them on the site.
And Teets is closing down to less than 2.5 second gap.
There's all kinds of great information around the Discord, so feel free to read up. There's a fully in-depth rule book you should definitely check out too. But trying to get back to the racing, even though it's laggy as crap, it's gonna be a rough night if it's gonna keep going like this. But hey, at least looks like it's not really affecting the racing. You know?
Yeah.
And the sale still out front for most of this thing here as we're coming up on roughly about the halfway point.
Battle for the lead's about to kick up though. Teets is gaining on him pretty quickly.
But yeah, it looks like that's not making a difference, so I will bring your feedback in so that way we can keep track of that if it really heats up. But everybody else seems to have spaced out. The Goose is honestly in a pretty good spot as well. Not that far back in third, so if that battle does heat up there and things start happening, he could be ready to pounce.
Oh, Michelle with a big mistake. He's going to case that first triple, the uphill triples, and Teeth is right on him now.
Yep, the battle for the lead is on. Why is my camera not showing? Oh, it's doing it on this screen too. Okay. That's okay.
Oh, another little mistake by K-Dubs in that rut. They're starting to really match each other's pace now. Teets did a really good job catching up, and it's kind of mellowed out.
Kind of stalled out there right behind, right on his rear.
Yeah, like hasn't really been able to push for a move or anything. It's kind of followed right in line with him. Gazelle's done a good job ever since Teets caught up on him, cleaning up that last lap.
Right, well, I'm gonna see if I can find action a little bit further back in the pack while we're waiting to see if that's gonna heat up at all. Good job for them at Lapper not getting involved there. Honestly, thought they were about to pull back on the track and then they didn't. Good job, heads up, Lapper. Who was that? Was that my man Wellesley? No, it actually wasn't. Okay. I honestly was expecting. I honestly don't know where Wellesley is, if he made it in this or not. But I know that he's always a W lapper on a Honda, so.
Teets right on him.
It's heating up for sure.
Teets has been carrying more speed on those uphill low doubles.
Yeah, Misael just seems like he's been really good at charging the corners at the bottom of the hills more than most of these guys. That's what it seems like his strong point has been when I've been looking at him.
Oh, and we got it. Teets goes down in that corner, cross rut.
So Misael's gonna get away. Yep. So he managed to withstand the heat from Teets. Teets has made the mistake, and now he's gonna need to regroup and try and see if he can find his way back up to Misael. If not, if Misael can hold on, he will be your Moto 1 winner. We still have a lot of racing left. About, you know, we still got over 11 and a half minutes plus 2 laps to go in this first moto. So it is far from over.
Well, that did let the Goose kind of wrangling Teets a little bit, so.
Yeah, actually, let's see how close that is. Oh, and look, right as I went to go look, the Goose was off the track on that uphill before the Mo. So, just like that, he was really close for second, and now he's back and gotta make some ground to get back to second. He wants to go after his teammate, that second place spot.
Looks like Misael's starting to come up into some more lappers here. Lapper really struggling in that section there. Look at that. Teets already 2 seconds off of that gap. Teets back on the move.
I'm looking at our red plate holder coming into this round, Hinks, who, as Shmooey goes down in front of him, is going to allow him to get what should be, I believe, 7th place on track, but it looks like he's got some cuts because he's definitely not that on timing and scoring. He was up near the front early in this one too, but ended up off the track before the mow, and it cost him big time. Something tells me it has been chaos trying to get back up to the field since. But you know, like they always say, like the greats, like Carmichael and others, they say, you win championships on your bad days. So he was a red plate holder coming into the second round here, and I mean, if things go the way they are going, I don't think he'll be leaving with it. But at the same time, anything is possible.
Yeah, this could just be a bad Moto 1. I mean, he still has another 9 minutes to overcome.
Yeah, and sadly, he just goes down. That's going to allow 2 of those positions that he got by to get back by him. Got to go back to work on Sutton and Shmooey, the Chrome Star teammates. He's closing it back in up there.
Yeah, he's really starting to push it down under 2.5 seconds again. Probably closer than that. I'm thinking Teets might have a cut, possibly. But
Oh yeah,
he is flying.
He's having a pretty good day. I'm pretty sure he did fairly well. I know when I was watching one of the races earlier for ProAm, I think he was doing fairly well in that too. Him and the Goose, I'm pretty sure I saw doing fairly well on the board. I don't know how they actually finished. If their team owner Liam is still in chat, he could always fill us in.
It looks like the Goose is starting to wrangle in his gap as well. So if it keeps like this, Masel's going to have a lot of pressure.
Hope you guys are all still just enjoying the show. Still sitting here watching the action back here between Shmooey and Sutton as we're waiting to see if this front battle is going to shape up at all. He seems to be slowly but surely reeling Maseo in, but then it looks like he lost a little bit of ground this lap as well. Not much, a little bit.
This is the section though that he catches up. He just shaved off 7/10.
Yep, there it is. So a little bit of cat and mouse up there. Seems like Maseo's definitely got him in some parts of the track, and he's got Maseo's number in other parts.
And the Goose must have made a mistake because he dropped off the pace.
Yeah, big gap back to him now, sitting him out almost 10 seconds back off the lead. Oh, and Sutton makes a big mistake at the bottom of this hill as I was watching over here, so that allows Shmooey to get away, his teammate, and Hinks to make the move. Oh, wait, I gotta rewind a little bit there, see what just happened there for a second.
Masel with the mistake. Teets now right on his back tire. Teets looking to get around the outside.
Him and Hinks both ended up off the track there. Oh, and then Hinks made a mistake, and it looks like Sutton. Sutton hits the jump all kinds of weird. Then he just gets up and gets going. That's not the end of the world. Cuts are probably going to get him enough on that one. But
Oh, Masel goes down. Teets to the lead.
oh no, big change up front. Sale doing so good, holding on for so long, but finally falls due to the pressure that Teets was putting on.
Yeah, Teets changed it up going up that big uphill, and he went to the most inside rut, and I think it might have surprised Masel because he seemed to push that outside rut a little too heavily and just front tire went over the rut.
Oh, absolutely. Oh, should have left it actually with that feed visible. I don't know why I closed it all the way. But yes, our leader all on his own now, as Masail has dropped back 4 seconds back from that fall. Hopefully he can hold on for at least that second place, because there is definitely nowhere near as much left racing in this moto as there was. Don't get me wrong, it's not over yet still, but if I were him, the goal would be to hold on to second from now. As I'm watching the sun kind of come undone here, going down again. So it seems like that one of the guys we had a problem with last week that I had a talk with and gave him the shot to still race this week has been living up to his word. I haven't seen anything bad from Mr. Tiesler. He sadly is a lapper right now, but anytime I've seen him coming through the field, I haven't seen him being a problematic lapper either. So big W for him. Good to see.
So let's see, a little bit of a lap time update. Our leader Teets, his last lap was a 151. His best lap of the race was a 147.3.
Honestly great that it's kind of awesome that the top 3 competing in this race are 2 of the SDR boys and 1 of my guys. Because the SDR are the big collaborators with the MXOR series, and then, you know, me. So it's actually kind of cool that they are up there. And then we had Zex up there last week too, which is one of the SDR boys. So it's really cool to, like, don't get me wrong, we want the competition to be from everywhere, right? But it is cool that our team is managing to put it up in the front for the series. You know, both of our teams.
They're starting to pull through some lappers right now.
Yeah, they definitely should be in a good amount of them now.
They just went through a real good batch of probably like 5 of them.
Sounds about right.
Waiting for timing and scoring to update to see if any of them were affected by it. Doesn't seem to be the case though.
But it does seem like the server has definitely gotten more stable as people have retired.
Yeah.
There is a Moto 2. Yes. Speaking of which, I need to look at B Moto, make sure they're not finished yet. They went a bit. They went a bit before us. They are not done yet. They're on the last lap.
Be hard to hold some of these guys accountable for retiring after today.
Yeah, no, for sure.
Because at least I guarantee you, at least one of them.
No, I've decided that I'm actually going to be changing that rule because I'm going to be docking them for points. You know what I mean? But with how much I have to do that, I just said screw that. You know. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to be keeping a record of all these retirings, and if they become too repetitive, they're going to be receiving suspensions.
I think I do like that rule change. I think makes your life a little easier.
Yeah, it makes my life easier, and then it just punishes the people that are just constantly quitting. Not for somebody that's just having a bad moto or a bad night. I feel like it's a win-win on both sides, you know?
I do agree with you, but I do like the punishment for the people that will not stick to it. Because just because you're a lapper doesn't mean there's not a reason for you to be out there.
Yep. And at the same time, if that's the reason you're retiring, at least then I'm not insanely upset. I mean, like, if you're having such a bad night that you're basically, you can't even race anymore, and it's because you're getting lapped, it's like, I'd rather you stay out there and just be a good lapper, but at least then it's more understandable.
Yeah, to me it's good practice. I mean, where else are you going to go to practice deform like this?
Yeah, for me it's really the people that are retiring out of good positions.
Yep.
Those are the ones that bother me.
We had a top 10 or a top 15 dropout earlier.
Oh yeah, yeah, and I've seen top 5 people drop out of races. I'm just like, what are you doing? You know, like, what are you doing?
Looks
Matter of
like
fact,
Marcel did drop.
did he? Oh, he did. He
Yep.
got to third. Yeah, like literally on Sunday, this last Sunday for our pro class. It sucks to see it, but we had our third and fourth place battle both quit.
That is weird.
It's like you don't want that.
No, that's definitely not what we see. And it looks like we have K-Dubs pulled off the track. I didn't realize that's who it was.
And I don't know why every race is on it. I mean, it's always been IRL and me. And it was all last year and this year as well. But it's only my Pro-Am class just because I try to make sure they don't have too much time on the track. So that way I can get like realistic cutoffs for my lower classes. I used to run Pro-Am and Pro on Friday nights, but it just got to the point where I would have no pros showing up because they'd be trying to race EU and ARL all day. Pro-Am's not, they want the extra time on the track, so I don't really have as much trouble with them.
Plus, with the pros having a couple extra days on the track, we get to really see some insane lap times.
Yeah, exactly. I'm not too worried about the pros having extra time either. Exactly. I get a bigger turnout by running it on Sunday. So win-win, and then we do get the pleasure of seeing sometimes some world records and stuff. We had that in Supercross for sure.
And Teats avoiding some downed lap riders there.
And
it's good awareness.
Oh yeah, your hand's still a problem, huh? That sucks. But yeah, no, we do not put A and B together. I mean, we might if we have the time and we have enough people missing. You know what I mean? But I mean, realistically, we just kind of continue with the night. The points extend all the way to 40 riders. So no matter what group you're in, if there's only 30 people that finish Moto 1 for A, that means that the top 10 in B get points. But we do usually have them both covered, as thankfully our buddy Hentai filling in tonight.
Yep.
But usually it's my man Ronan covering the B groups for Pro-Am.
Little 1-1 shout out.
Absolutely. Gotta give the 1-1 guys the credit. Hentai's chill as shit, and I've been over there helping them out a bit, and now we got New School over here with me in the booth for Pro-Am, so he helps me out, and now we even got Hentai covering B tonight. So 1-1 for the win. Thank you guys.
Yeah. Maybe some more collaboration style stuff in the future.
For sure.
Looking at timing scoring, Marcel closed the gap back down on Goose, but then it just clicked back up a slight bit.
Yeah, it's definitely one of those guys, probably, out of the people in chat, whoever the fastest lap is. Couldn't tell you who, but it's gotta be one of them.
Marcel back up to second.
Oh yeah, what happened to Goose? The Goose having some mistakes and losing some time here. Oh, I just realized we are on our last lap around here.
That we are. And Teats over here navigating some lap traffic for the last time. Comfortable gap to Marcel in second, 13.5 seconds.
Letting them know over in B that they have 5 minutes until Moto 2. As we just sent them back to practice and grabbed their results and all. And as you can see, they're not insanely far ahead. Thankfully.
You can really see it doesn't seem to be the deform doesn't seem to be affecting too much yet. Teats still dropping a 150 on his last on that last lap that he had.
Wow.
I
Well,
say
we
that as
still-
a lapper goes down behind him.
Yeah, right. Well, I mean, we do still have a whole other moto, so we obviously don't want the track to be completely gone already, right? So that's good.
Yep.
But it's
that
gonna
is
be
good
gnarly in
sign.
that second moto for sure.
And there's Teets with your Moto 1 victory.
Absolutely. And then looks like it should be Miseo bringing it home here in second. I wish they made this last corner more sand. But they did IRL.
Agreed.
Gonna be the Goose bringing it home in third, rounding out the podium for Moto 1. Aaron, not as far back as I thought he was. The time of scoring might be a little off there. But him bringing it home in fourth. Aaron must have had some cuts for sure.
Let's take a look. Yep, he did 7 seconds of cuts. The Goose only had 2 of them.
Yeah, that explains a lot because he's a lot closer than it looks like on timing and scoring. But Scully bringing it home in fifth. Looks like it's going to be Shmooey in sixth.
Would you believe me if I told you we had a rider with no cuts tonight?
I would believe you. It's definitely possible.
Yeah. And it was a lapper. One rider didn't have cuts.
Oh yeah, Sutton bringing it home in seventh. Hinks eighth. Actually, Driggs getting eighth because Hinks cuts. He's in ninth. Lawson in 10th. Then our last 2 guys. Oh wait, do we have 3 guys out there still? We do. We have 3 guys in the lead lap. I know it says +1 for one of those guys, but he's still out there and didn't get the checkered flag, so he must have just had cuts. Oh, Godwin going down right before the finish line, but he's gonna get across. Get 11th, Kyle 12th. Actually, I didn't even realize that Zex was out there because of how far back he was. Look at me missing his name on the board. One of our winners, Moto winners last week, getting 12th in this first Moto.